They thought she was struggling in the city because every time she came home, she looked simple. No expensive wig, no loud jewelry, no designer bag, no loud arrival, no rented car stopping at the village square with music playing from the speakers. Just one small suitcase, plain slippers, a faded handbag, and the same quiet smile she had carried since childhood. Her name was Amara, and in the village, people had already written her story for her. They said the city had swallowed her. They said she had gone there with big dreams
and
returned with nothing but tired eyes. Her aunties whispered, "City life has humbled her."
So secretive.
Her cousins laughed behind her back. After all these years, see what she brought home. Even her old classmates looked at her with pity, the kind of pity that feels like an insult wearing a smile. They would hug her and say, "You are trying," but their eyes would move from her slippers to her suitcase, from her suitcase to her face, silently measuring her life and finding it small. But Amara never corrected anyone. She never said, "You don't know what I own." She never said, "You don't know what I have survived." She never said, "You don't know what I am building." She just smiled, greeted everyone, entered her mother's compound, dropped her bag in the corner, and helped with whatever needed to be done. If there was water to fetch, she fetched it. If there was food to cook, she cooked. If there were chairs to arrange, she arranged them. And because she did not behave like someone who wanted to impress anybody, people concluded she had nothing impressive to show. But what they didn't know was that Amara had learned something the hard way. In the city, noise attracts pressure. The moment people think you are doing well, they start counting your money before you count it yourself. The moment they see a new phone, they remember their school fees. The moment they see good shoes, they remember their rent. The moment they hear you are saving, they suddenly have an emergency. So Amara stopped showing. She stopped explaining. She stopped trying to prove she was not suffering. Every morning in the city, before the sun rose, she woke up in a small room with peeling paint and a window that never closed properly. She would tie her hair, wash her face with cold water, wear the same carefully ironed clothes, and step out before the street became noisy. She entered buses where people pushed, shouted, sweated, and fought for space. She worked one job in the morning, another in the evening, and sometimes took weekend work just to add something small to her savings. She ate simply. She avoided unnecessary outings. She ignored pressure. While people were posting soft life online, she was building a life nobody could screenshot. While others were buying things to look successful, she was buying time, discipline, assets, and freedom. She learned how to say no without feeling guilty. She learned how to send money home without sending her whole future. She learned that if you give everything away because people are watching, one day you will need help. And the same people will ask why you did not plan your life. So she planned quietly. She saved quietly. She invested carefully. She bought small things that did not look powerful at first. A share in a food business, a small piece of land outside the city, equipment for a woman who paid her monthly returns, a cooperative contribution nobody in the village knew about, a fixed deposit that grew slowly. Nothing dramatic, nothing loud, just steady, boring, invisible progress. And because it was invisible, people mocked her. Every December, the village became a stage. People came home not just to rest, but to perform. Cars arrived with tinted glass. Young men stepped out wearing chains and sunglasses. Women came home with imported hair, designer slippers, fresh nails, and phones held high. Some of them borrowed money to look rich for 1 week. Some rented cars and returned them quietly in January. Some came with stories bigger than their bank accounts. But in the village, appearance was evidence. If you looked successful, people believed you. If you looked simple, they buried you alive with their opinions. So when Amara returned again that December, the whisper started before she even reached her mother's house. She has come again. Same bag, same slippers. This girl has nothing. She's just managing. City people like packaging, but her own packaging has failed. She aired everything. She said nothing. At the junction, one of her old classmates, Tonya, stood beside a black car, wearing sunglasses even though the sun was already low. "Amara," she called out loudly, drawing attention. Amara turned and smiled. "Tonya, welcome home." Tonya looked at her suitcase and laughed softly. "You came with transport again?" "Yes," Amara said. "It was easier." Tonya tilted her head. "You are humble. After all these years in the city, you are still very simple." The women nearby laughed. Amara smiled. "Simplicity is not always suffering." Tonya's smile weakened for a second. but she quickly recovered. True, true, we thank God. Amara nodded and walked away. Behind her, Tonya whispered to another woman that one is just using wisdom to cover failure. The woman laughed. Amara heard it, but she kept walking. She had learned that not every insult deserves a reply. Some replies are too expensive. Some replies cost peace. When she entered her mother's compound, her mother rushed out and hugged her tightly. "My daughter, you came safely." "Yes, Mama." Her mother held her face and looked at her carefully. "You look tired." Amara smiled. "Just the journey." But her mother's eyes were not easily deceived. Mothers can sometimes see what the world misses. She noticed the weight in Amara's face, the carefulness in her smile, the way she carried strength like something heavy. But she said nothing. That evening, the compound began to fill. Aunties arrived, uncles arrived, cousins arrived, children ran around, chickens scattered. Someone started cooking outside. Someone played music from a phone speaker. December had a way of making poverty look festive for a while. Everybody was laughing, greeting, joking, and pretending all was well. But Amara noticed something strange. The laughter in the compound was too loud. The adults kept whispering in corners. Her mother's smile disappeared whenever she thought nobody was looking. Her uncle, who usually spoke with authority, looked restless. Every time a phone rang, someone became tense. Amara felt it. Something was wrong, but nobody wanted to tell her. Not because they wanted to protect her, but because they had already decided she could not help. To them, she was also managing. She was not the successful child. She was not the one to call for big problems. She was the one they pitied. Later that night, as Amara helped her mother serve food, she heard her auntie whisper, "Should we tell her?" Another replied, "Tell her what? What will she do? She's still trying to stand on her own." They went quiet when Amara came near. She placed the tray down and pretended not to hear, but the words entered her. What will she do? That sentence followed her into the night. She lay on a mat in her mother's room, listening to distant music, goats bleating, children laughing, and adults talking in low voices outside. She remembered the first year she moved to the city. She remembered sleeping on the floor of her cousin's room with her bag as a pillow. She remembered the woman who promised to help her find a job, but used her as free house help for 3 months. She remembered washing plates in a restaurant until her hands cracked. She remembered going to bed hungry and waking up early so nobody would notice she had not eaten. She remembered calling home and saying, "I'm fine," because she knew her mother would worry. She remembered the first salary she received, how proud she felt, and how quickly it disappeared after family requests came in. Roof repair, medicine, school levy, feeding money, burial contribution, church harvest, transport fare. Every request had a face, every face had emotion, every emotion carried guilt, and because she loved them, she gave. Until one day, she looked at her account and realized love was turning her into an empty container. That was the day she made her secret rule. Help people, but never abandon yourself. Send support, but never send your future. Be kind, but do not be foolish. From that day, she began saving before sending, investing before explaining, building before displaying. And that decision changed everything. But in the village, all they saw was a woman who came home without a car. The next morning, Amara woke up early and swept the compound. One cousin saw her and laughed. "City woman, you still know how to sweep?" Amara smiled. "The city has not removed my hands." Another cousin, Nkem, walked in wearing a flashy shirt and holding a car key like an award. "Amara, you should relax. You came from the city. Or is city life not sweet on your side?" The others laughed. Amara looked at him. "It depends on what you went there to do." Nkem grinned. "At least people should see evidence now." Amara looked at his shoes, his watch, the car key in his hand, and then at his eyes. She knew that car was not his. She had seen that kind of performance before, but she did not expose him. A person who is secure does not need to tear down another person's costume. She simply said, "Evidence does not always make noise." Nkem laughed loudly. "Ah, she has started talking in parables." Everyone laughed again. Amara smiled and continued sweeping. By afternoon, visitors had started arriving. Some came to greet, some came to observe, some came because they had heard Amara was back and wanted to confirm if she had finally made it. An old neighbor looked at her and said, "My daughter, don't worry, God's time is the best." Amara thanked her. Another woman said, "At least you are alive. That is enough." Amara thanked her too. These words were meant to comfort her, but they were built on an assumption. The assumption that she was failing. The assumption that her quietness was defeat. The assumption that if people could not see your progress, it did not exist. That evening, the family meeting began. It started like every family meeting, with chairs arranged under the mango tree, elders clearing their throats, younger people pretending not to listen while listening to everything. Amara sat beside her mother. She noticed her mother's hands trembling slightly. Her uncle held a brown envelope. His face looked heavier than the previous night. The compound slowly became quiet. "We have something serious to discuss," he began. The children were sent away. The music stopped. Even the women near the cooking area moved closer. Her uncle opened the envelope and brought out some papers. "This house," he said, "is in trouble." Amara looked at her mother. Her mother looked down. Her uncle continued, "Years ago, when your father was alive, he took a loan using this family house as security. We thought the matter had been settled after he died, but there were unpaid balances and accumulated interest. The people involved have been patient, but now they have sent final notice. If we don't pay before the deadline, this house will be taken." For a moment, nobody spoke. Then the compound erupted. "God forbid! How can they take our father's house? Who signed what? Why are we just hearing this? How much is the money?" Her mother began to cry quietly. Amara's chest tightened. This was not just a building. This was where she had grown up. This was where her father had planted mango trees. This was where her mother had sat through grief after his burial. This was where every December reunion happened. This house carried memories, fights, prayers, hunger, laughter, birth, death, and history. Losing it would not just be losing property. It would be losing a family root. Her uncle raised his hand. "Calm down. We have tried to negotiate. They need payment. That is why I called this meeting. Everybody must contribute." He named the amount. The compound fell silent again, but this time the silence had fear inside it. The amount was not small. It was the kind of money people discuss loudly until they realize someone actually has to pay it. Nkem shifted in his chair. One auntie held her head. Another cousin muttered, "This is too much." Someone suggested selling part of the land. Someone else said there was no time. Another person suggested borrowing. An auntie said borrowing was what caused the problem in the first place. Everybody had an opinion. Nobody had the money. Amara watched them carefully. These were the same people who judged her suitcase, the same people who measured success by display, the same people who spent December trying to look rich. But when a real problem arrived, appearance disappeared. The loudest voices became small. The proudest faces became tired. Her uncle said, "We need someone to go and beg them again." Another person said, "Maybe they will give us 3 more months." Nkem said, "If all of us contribute something, maybe we can start." His voice was not confident. Amara looked at him. "How much can you contribute?" Nkem blinked. "Me? Yes. I have some commitments." The room went quiet. Tonya, who had come to visit and somehow remained for the family meeting, looked away. Amara turned to her uncle. "How much exactly is left?" Her uncle looked at her as if she had interrupted a discussion meant for people more important than her. "Amara, this is not small money." "I know," she said. "How much is left?" "We just said it." "No, I mean after everything already paid, penalties included, legal fees included, how much is required to stop them from taking the house?" Her uncle stared at her. One auntie whispered, "Why is she asking like she can pay?" Another said, "Leave her. Maybe she wants to understand." Her uncle looked at the paper and read the figure again, this time with the full details. Amara nodded slowly. Her mother touched her hand. "My daughter, don't worry yourself. We know you are also managing." That sentence hurt Amara more than the mockery, because her mother was not insulting her. Her mother truly believed she was protecting her. Amara stood up quietly. The compound watched her. She stepped away from the chairs, unlocked her phone, and made a call. "Good evening, barrister. Please, the family property issue I asked you to check last month, are the figures still valid?" Her uncle sat upright. "Which barrister?" Amara continued. "Yes, they have brought the final notice now. I need you to confirm the official account, the outstanding sum, and the document they will issue after payment. I don't want any story after this." The compound became very quiet. Nkem leaned forward. Her aunties exchanged glances. Tonya removed her sunglasses slowly. Amara listened, nodded, and said, "Send it to me now." A minute later, her phone beeped. She opened the message. She checked the account name. She checked the figure. Then she opened her banking app. Nobody breathed loudly. Her uncle stood up. "Amara, what are you doing?" "Paying the debt," she said. The words were so simple that people did not understand them at first. One auntie laughed nervously. "Which debt?" Amara looked at her. "The one that wants to take this house." Her mother stood up. "Amara, Mama, please sit." Her voice was gentle but firm. She typed the first transfer, then the second, then the third. Because of bank limits, she had to split it. Each confirmation sound landed in the compound like a slap against every insult they had spoken about her. "Transfer successful, transfer successful, transfer successful." She sent the proof to the lawyer. Then she called him again. "Please confirm receipt with them now. I want the acknowledgement tonight and the release documents tomorrow." She waited. Everyone waited with her. A few minutes later, her phone beeped again. She opened the receipt and walked back to her uncle. "It is cleared." Her uncle did not collect the phone immediately. He looked at her face first, as if seeing her clearly for the first time in years. Then he took the phone. His hands trembled. He read the receipt. His lips parted. "It is true," he whispered. That was when her mother broke down. She cried like someone who had been carrying fear for months and finally dropped it. She held Amara and kept saying, "My daughter, my daughter, my daughter." The aunties were silent. The cousins were silent. Nkem looked at the ground. Tonya stared at Amara like she had just watched a dead person rise. The same people who pitied her were now looking at her like they had never seen her before. Her mother pulled back and asked the question everyone wanted to ask. "Where did you get that kind of money?" Amara wiped her mother's tears and smiled softly. "From the struggle you thought was shame." Nobody moved. Even the night seemed to pause. Amara turned slowly and looked at the compound. "You thought I was suffering because I came home simple. You thought I had failed because I did not arrive with noise. You thought city life had humbled me because I did not buy things to impress people who were already waiting to judge me. But I learned something in that city. If you spend all your money proving you are not poor, poverty will wait for you at home." Her auntie opened her mouth, but no words came out. Amara continued, "I worked, I saved, I invested. I denied myself many things, not because I had no taste, not because I did not like good things, but because I knew one day something bigger than clothes and hair would need money. Today is that day." Her uncle sat down slowly. His pride had nowhere to stand. One cousin whispered, "We didn't know." Amara looked at him. "You didn't ask. You only assumed." The words entered the room sharply. "Because assumptions are easy when the person you judge is quiet." Her mother held her again, this time more gently. "Why didn't you tell me?" Amara's voice softened. "Mama, I wanted to, many times. But I knew if people heard I was doing well, they would not let me build. Every plan would become someone's emergency. Every saving would become someone's entitlement. Every investment would become proof that I had extra money to share. I did not hide because I hated family. I hid because I wanted something to survive." That night the village became quiet around her. The aunties stopped whispering. The cousins stopped laughing. The classmates who once pitied her suddenly wanted to know what she did in the city. But Amara did not become proud. She did not use the moment to insult everybody back. She did not start listing all their mockery. She only sat beside her mother, held her hand, and watched the compound breathe again. But the next morning, everything changed. People who had passed her without greeting now greeted loudly. Women who had whispered now smiled. Old classmates sent messages. Tonya came early with a forced laugh. "Amara, you are very funny. You hid yourself from all of us." Amara looked at her. "I did not hide. I just refused to perform." Tonya laughed again, but it sounded weak. "You should teach me how you did it." Amara said, "I can teach you discipline, but I cannot teach you if you only want the result." Tonya became quiet. Nkem came too. He carried himself differently now, softer, careful. "Sister Amara, I'm sorry for yesterday. You know we joke a lot." Amara looked at him for a long moment. "People often call disrespect a joke when it fails." Nkem swallowed. "I didn't mean it. You meant it when you thought I was beneath you." He looked down. She continued, "But I forgive you. Just don't measure people with eyes that cannot see beyond clothes." Later that day, her uncle called her aside. The same uncle who had dismissed her voice during the meeting now spoke gently. "Amara, I must confess, I underestimated you. I know. He nodded. Your father would be proud. That one touched her. She looked away, so he would not see her eyes fill. Her father had always believed in quiet strength. He used to tell her, a tree does not announce its roots, it only stands when the wind comes. For years, she had lived by that sentence without realizing it. Now the wind had come, and she had stood. But saving the house did not solve everything. In fact, it revealed a deeper problem. People had become comfortable with appearances. They had learned to mock simplicity and worship display. They could not tell the difference between someone who was broke and someone who was building quietly. They could not tell the difference between poverty and discipline, between humility and failure, between noise and progress. So that evening, when the family gathered again, Amara spoke, not loudly, not angrily, but with the calmness of someone who had earned the right to be heard. This house is safe now, she said, but if we don't change, another problem will come, and next time, it may not be this house. It may be someone's health, someone's education, someone's future. We cannot continue living by emergency. Her uncle nodded slowly. Nobody interrupted. Amara continued. Everybody wants help when trouble comes, but nobody respects the quiet discipline that creates help. When I came home simple, you laughed. When I saved instead of showing off, you pitied me. When I invested instead of performing success, you called it struggle. But today, the money that looked invisible became visible because there was a real need. Our auntie wiped her face. We were wrong. Amara nodded. Yes, but being wrong is not the end. Staying wrong is the problem. From that day, the family started to change, not completely. Change does not happen like magic. Because one person gave a speech, some still whispered, some still envied her, some started calculating how much she might have, some began planning requests in their heads. But Amara was no longer the same woman who feared being misunderstood. She had learned that people will misunderstand you, whether you are failing or rising. So, you might as well build. She set new boundaries. She told her mother, I will support you monthly, but I will not answer every random demand. She told her cousins, if you want business support, bring a plan. She told Ankem, if you want advice, come with humility, not entitlement. She told herself, never again will I shrink because people are uncomfortable with quiet progress. A week later, when she was preparing to return to the city, the whole compound felt different. Her small suitcase was still small, her slippers were still plain, her handbag was still faded, but nobody saw them the same way. The objects had not changed, the eyes looking at them had changed. That is how life works sometimes. People don't respect what they don't understand until results force understanding into them. Her mother walked her to the junction. My daughter, she said, I'm sorry. Amara turned. For what, Mama? Her mother held her hand. For believing you were suffering because you looked simple. Amara smiled. You were not mocking me. But I worried. That is different. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. You carried too much alone. Amara looked at the buses, at the dust, at the village that had raised her and judged her in the same breath. I had to, Mama. Sometimes, if you announce what you are building too early, people will either discourage you or demand from it before it grows. Her mother nodded slowly. You are wise. Amara smiled. The city taught me. As the bus arrived, her mother hugged her tightly. Don't stop building. I won't, and don't let their words harden your heart. Amara paused. That was harder because words can wound quietly. Mockery can sit inside a person for years. Being underestimated by strangers is easy. Being underestimated by family is different. It enters deeper. But Amara nodded. I won't become hard. I will become wiser. She entered the bus. As it pulled away, she looked through the window and saw her mother waving. Behind her, the village looked the same. The same dusty road, the same mango trees, the same gossiping women, the same young people trying to look successful before becoming stable. But Amara knew something had shifted. Not in the village, in her. She no longer needed them to believe in her before she believed in herself. She no longer needed their applause to validate her sacrifice. She no longer needed to dress her progress for public approval. She had seen what quiet discipline could do. It could protect the home, It could silence mockery. It could restore dignity. It could turn shame into strength. Back in the city, nothing became easier overnight. She still woke before sunrise. She still entered buses. She still worked hard. She still faced pressure. She still received calls from home. But now when people asked for money, she listened differently. She helped when it made sense. She refused when refusal was wisdom. She gave without destroying herself. She saved without guilt. She invested without announcement. And slowly, her life grew. The small food business became bigger. The land she bought gained value. The monthly returns increased. She moved from the room with the broken window into a better apartment. Not a mansion, not luxury, but clean, safe, and peaceful. She bought good shoes, but not to prove anything. She bought them because she needed them. She changed her phone, but did not post it. She traveled once, quietly, and rested. For the first time in years, rest did not feel like a crime. Months later, Tonya called her. Her voice was different, less proud, more honest. Amara, can I ask you something? Yes. How did you stop caring what people think? Amara smiled. I didn't stop at once. I just became more afraid of wasting my life than being judged. Tonya was silent. Amara continued. People's opinions are expensive if you keep buying them. Every time you spend to impress them, you pay. Every time you explain to convince them, you pay. Every time you abandon your plan because they laughed, you pay. One day I decided I was done paying for opinions that would not feed me. Tonya sighed. I think I have been performing. Most people are, Amara said, but you can't stop. That conversation became the beginning of Tonya's own change. Not because Amara shouted, not because Amara embarrassed her, but because results had opened a door that advice alone could not open. The next December, Amara returned again. Same calmness, better suitcase, but still not loud. Simple dress, but cleaner. Quiet smile, but stronger. This time, the village did not laugh. People watched her with curiosity, some with respect, some with envy, some with regret. At the family compound, her uncle stood and greeted her properly. Her auntie hugged her longer than usual. Nkem came with a notebook. Sister, I wrote the business plan. Amara almost laughed. Good, now we can talk. Her mother looked healthier. The house had been repaired gradually, not with one dramatic spending, but with planning. The roof was fixed. The documents were complete. The family had started a small emergency fund. It was not perfect. Some people contributed late. Some complained. Some still wanted shortcuts. But something had started, and sometimes that is enough. During dinner, one of the younger girls in the family sat beside Amara and whispered, Auntie, they said you are rich, but you don't dress rich. Amara smiled. Who said that? The girl pointed toward the adults. Amara laughed softly. Do you know what rich means? The girl shook her head. Amara said, rich is not always what people see. Sometimes rich means you can sleep without fear. Sometimes it means you can help when it matters. Sometimes it means you own things that grow while you are quiet. Sometimes it means you don't need to impress people who are not responsible for your future. The girl thought about it. So someone can look simple and still be rich? Yes, Amara said, and someone can look rich and still be drowning. The girl's eyes widened. I will remember that. Amara looked at her and felt something deep. Maybe this was the real victory. Not proving adults wrong, not silencing gossip, but helping one young girl grow up with a better definition of success. Later that night, Amara sat outside alone. The moon was bright. The compound was peaceful. She could hear distant drums from another family celebration. Her mother came and sat beside her. You are thinking? Yes. About what? Amara looked at the house. About how close we came to losing this place. Her mother nodded. God used you. Amara looked down. God used discipline too. Her mother smiled. Yes, God used discipline. They sat quietly. Then her mother said, people now respect you. Amara smiled faintly. Respect that comes after money is not always pure. That is true. But I'm no longer angry. Why? Amara looked at the moon. Because I understand people better now. Many people don't hate quiet success. They just don't recognize it. They have been trained to believe success must be loud. So when they see silence, they think failure. When they see simplicity, they think lack. When they see patience, they think weakness. But life has a way of teaching them. Her mother nodded. And it taught them through you. Amara breathed deeply. It taught me too. The following morning before sunrise, Amara walked around the compound. She touched the mango tree her father planted. She stood near the old wall where she used to draw with charcoal as a child. She remembered being a small girl with big dreams, telling her father she would go to the city and make him proud. He had laughed and said, "Don't just make me proud, make yourself strong." At the time, she did not understand. Now she did. Pride can depend on applause. Strength does not. Pride wants people to see. Strength can survive unseen. Pride spends to be respected. Strength builds until respect becomes irrelevant. When the family woke up, they found her already sweeping the compound. Nkem laughed. "Sister Amara, leave this thing. We will do it." She smiled. "I know. I just like mornings." He collected the broom gently. "No, rest." It was a small gesture, but Amara noticed. Respect had entered his hands. Not perfect respect, not deep transformation yet, but a beginning. Before she left that year, she called the family together and said something they never forgot. Do not wait until someone looks successful before you respect them. Some people are fighting battles you cannot see. Some are building things they cannot announce. Some are quiet because they are focused, not because they are empty. And if you judge people only by what they wear, one day you will bow to someone you laughed at. Nobody spoke. She continued, "I'm not saying appearance is bad. Look good if you can. Enjoy your life if you can. But don't spend your foundation money on decoration. Don't use your seed to buy applause. Don't starve your future to feed people's eyes. Because when real problems come, applause cannot pay debt. Expensive air cannot save property. Designer bags cannot treat sickness. Loud success cannot replace quiet stability." Her uncle nodded slowly. Her auntie wiped her eyes. Nkem looked at his notebook. The younger girl stared at Amara like she was hearing a secret adults had hidden from her. Amara picked up her small suitcase again. This time, nobody mocked it. Her mother hugged her. "Safe journey." "Thank you, Mama." As she walked to the junction, some villagers greeted her with respect. Some still whispered, but their whispers had changed. Before they whispered because they thought she was nothing. Now they whispered because they were trying to understand her. And Amara realized that either way, people will talk. When they think you are failing, they talk. When they discover you are rising, they talk. When you are poor, they talk. When you are wealthy, they talk. When you are simple, they talk. When you are loud, they talk. So the goal is not to stop people from talking. The goal is to stop living for their conversation. Years passed, and the story of Amara became something people told in different ways. Some said she was lucky. Some said she had secret connections. Some said she was wise. Some said she was too private. But the people who knew the truth knew it was not luck. It was discipline repeated until it became power. It was sacrifice hidden until it became rescue. It was silence protected until it became evidence. And the family house still stood. Children still played in the compound. Her mother still sat under the mango tree. The roof no longer leaked. The documents were safe. The family had not become perfect, but they had become more careful. And Amara, the woman they thought was struggling in the city, became the quiet reason many things did not fall apart. She never became proud. She never started dressing to punish them. She never arrived with noise just to show them they were wrong. Because by then, she had learned the final lesson. If you build your life just to prove people wrong, those people still control the design. But if you build because your future matters, then whether they clap or not, you're free. And that was Amara's real success. Not the money, not the property, not the business, not even the respect. Her real success was that she no longer needed to be seen before she felt valuable. She no longer needed to be praised before she felt successful. She no longer needed to look rich before she knew she was building wealth. So, let people misunderstand your quiet season. Let them laugh at your simple clothes. Let them call your discipline poverty. Let them mistake your silence for failure. Let them think you are behind because you are not performing for them. One day, life may create a moment where what you built in secret becomes the answer everybody needs in public. And when that day comes, you will not need to shout. You will not need to explain every sacrifice. You will not need to remind them of every insult. Your results will speak. Your stability will speak. Your peace will speak. They thought she was struggling in the city. They thought simplicity meant shame. They thought a small suitcase meant a small life, but they were wrong. She was not struggling to impress them. She was struggling to build. She was not hiding failure. She was protecting growth. She was not poor because she looked simple. She was wise because she refused to waste her future on appearances. And sometimes, the person everybody thinks is struggling is the only one strong enough to save the house when the storm finally comes.